Tonight, we travel to one of the darkest places in English history. A fortress built beside the River Thames. A place of executions, betrayal, imprisonment, and whispered hauntings stretching back through the centuries. I'm talking about the Tower of London. By day, tourists walk its ancient stone paths beneath the watch of the ravens. Cameras flash. Voices echo through the courtyards. The old fortress almost feels peaceful. But when night falls, the atmosphere changes. The stone walls seem colder, the corridors darker, and somewhere deep within the ancient towers, many believe the dead still remain. Because the Tower of London was never simply a castle. It was a prison, a torture chamber, a place where powerful people vanished behind locked doors and were never seen alive again. And over the centuries, the suffering soaked into the stone itself. One of the most famous legends concerned two young boys, the princes in the tower, Edward and Richard, children, royal heirs. The boys were seen playing within the grounds at first, then less often, then not at all. Soon, whispers spread through London. The princes had simply vanished. The guard called out to them. The children turned slowly toward him, then disappeared. Not ran away, not faded gradually, gone instantly, as though the darkness itself had swallowed them. Perhaps the most famous ghost of all is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, Queen of England, and eventually a prisoner within the tower itself. On the morning of her execution in 1536, Anne walked calmly toward her death. Witnesses said she remained strangely composed, almost peaceful. Then, with a single strike, her life ended within the tower grounds. But according to legend, Anne never truly left. For centuries, guards and visitors have claimed to see her spirit wandering through the tower after dark, sometimes walking slowly, silently along the battlements, sometimes appearing near the chapel where she was buried, and most disturbingly, sometimes carrying her severed head beneath her arm. The deeper inside the fortress one travels, the stranger the stories become. There are accounts of screaming, echoing through empty chambers, the sound of chains dragging across stone floors, cold spots appearing suddenly in sealed rooms, doors slamming by themselves, and shadow figures standing motionless at the ends of the corridors. One chilling story comes from a night guard during the Victorian era. He was patrolling near the Wakefield Tower after midnight. Rain lashed against the fortress walls. The river below moved black beneath the fog. Everything seemed normal, at first, until he heard footsteps behind him. The guard later claimed he could not move. Fear rooted him in place. Then the figure lifted one arm slowly and pointed toward a locked doorway nearby. For hundreds of years, ravens have lived at the Tower of London. Large black birds watching silently from rooftops and walls. According to legend, if the ravens ever leave the tower, the kingdom itself will fall. And perhaps that is what still lingers inside the tower. Not merely ghosts, but suffering, fear, pain held inside stone for centuries. Because places remember, especially places where people died frightened and alone. And if you ever walk there after sunset, if you ever hear footsteps echoing behind you, or see a pale figure standing silently at the end of a corridor, do not follow it. Do not call out. And whatever you do not stay after the ravens fall silent. Because in places where so many suffered, the dead do not always sleep peacefully. Good night.